Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I've had some questions on some other Facebook Lives and a lot of comments. And so, I'm just going to answer some of those questions as they come in. Some people were asking about knee pain. And so, everybody knows that I'm a back pain specialist. That's what I specialize in. Now, when you fix the back, a lot of things will get better. And usually, wherever there's an issue, what joint has the issue, a lot of times there can be pain above and below. And so, if you're still dealing with knee pain, these exercises will help dramatically. So I'm just going to go over 3 exercises. One's going to be a warm-up because you always want to warm up before you do anything. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you and give you, let's see if we get this set up correctly. All right, so you guys can see me pretty good there. Let me make sure this is even. Okay. All right, so yeah, if you're checking in, let me know where you're checking in from. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what's going on with you. If you have any comments, questions, or something that you might want to see a video about, let me know. Let me straighten this out just a little bit. It looks a little off. That's a little better. All right, so the first thing we're going to do with the knees is we're going to just stand feet shoulder width apart, roughly. We're going to, if you've done the back movements, we're going to hip hinge, bring our hands down towards our knees so our back isn't hunched over because we don't want to do that. So this is a good time to practice your hip hinging, right? So pushing the butt back, keeping the spine in neutral. And from here, we're going to get into this position holding our knees, and we're going to just rotate the knees and get them lubricated through these movements. We can actually go to straighten them out, rotate, straighten them out, lock them up, rotate, lock them up, rotate the other direction. So you're just going to do this a few times because this joint is not like many other joints. So there's not much we can do. Like, for example, the shoulder, there's a lot of movements that we can do, a lot of stretches we can do. With this joint, it's just single motion for the most part, but we still have some lateral movement. We just don't want to do it in a stressful environment or with too much torque. So this is perfect, just no weight attached. We just mobilize the joints, we get it warmed up. You could do some stair climbing or something like that, just to get more blood flow, because the more blood flow you get to the area, the better off the next exercises will be that I show you. And so let me grab a chair here. And so ideally you want to grab a chair that your legs hang off of, right? So that way there's nothing impeding your movement with the floor. And so what you're going to do is just hang off here. You're going to kind of grab on your quad just to get the neural connection firing. And what you're going to do is you're going to extend your leg out and kind of just poke at the muscles on the quadricep to get the mind firing these muscles. Because a lot of times where pain is coming from is it loses the map of the muscles that it's sending the information to, and it means we're not activating the muscles the way they should. And so now when we do these movements and we start to activate muscles in the right way, we're going to start to reconnect, get that map connected, and a lot of times pain will just go away through good movement patterns, through good neural connections in the brain. So now we're just extending the leg fully, so we're locking the knee, and we're contracting the muscles around and above the knee, right? So you can do about 10 reps. You can do 2 sets of 10 reps. You can do 3 sets of 10 reps. However much you want to do, this is only going to be beneficial for you because you're contracting the quads, right? So the stronger your quads are, the better off it is for the knee. And this is lightweight. We're not putting any weight on it. If you've seen the leg extension machines at the gym, sometimes it can put too much torque and force on your knees and therefore create a problem, especially if your quads aren't prepared for it, right? So training is all about the stimulus and the response. So what's the stimulus? Well, for you who are watching, one person might need a stimulus that is way below the next person because of their age, their previous exercise history. So it's kind of, where have you been, where are you at now, and where are you looking to go? That's how coaching is done, and that's how training is done. And it's done in small increments, changing one variable at a time. So for example, if you go for a run, you're not going to change the distance and the speed that you run at one time because you're increasing your chances of injury, overtraining, etc. So it's the same thing with doing something as simple as this. We're using no weight, and maybe you do this for 2 weeks, and then you start to realize, like, this is way too easy. And then from there, you start to maybe put a little bit of ankle weights on, or maybe you do the leg extension, but at a very, very low weight, like 10 pounds. And you might feel like, oh, that's way too easy. It's way too easy. It's not. Your body will tell you if you can do like 3 sets of 15 reps without really fatiguing, then maybe you could say, okay, now it's ready to move to the next level. And of course, I'm talking about people who are dealing with knee pain, right? So if you're a bodybuilder or you're an athlete, this is a different story, right? So we want to progress so as not to re-injure yourself. That's the whole idea around it. So the first movement, just to recap, if you're just jumping in, was just warming up the knees, just getting them loosened up, getting synovial fluid activated, getting the body warmed up. The second one here is seated with your legs free, so your legs are hanging, and we're doing extension of the knee, and we're firing these muscles. So we want to consciously contract the muscles right here. So we're going to do, 5, 10, 15 reps. You should start to feel it, but the whole idea is that you're not just going through the motions, you're really thinking about it, right? This is consciously moving the body with a purpose. A lot of times people are just moving throughout life and they have no purpose, and they don't know how to control their body, and they wonder why they have back pain. It's because they don't know the bare essentials about their own body, which is, in my opinion, the first thing that we should be taught. The first things that we should learn in school is about our own body. How should we move? How should we be moving? And that's my purpose and my goal with all this, is like understanding how you move your body. It should be the number one subject. No one cares more about you and your body than yourself. So the number one first thing in your life would be, how does my body function? How does my body respond to things? How am I supposed to move? How much is too much movement for me? And actually knowing these things down to a T, not just thinking like, oh, I think I'm supposed to move this way. Because part of what I see with back pain is people are just moving incorrectly and they have no idea, and they're just thinking like, oh, you know what, I've been doing this wrong for 30 years. And that's possibly why that person has back pain. It could be other reasons. So those are the first 2 movements. And then the next one we're going to do is, let me see if you guys can see. Still see me? All right, so I'm going to get down on the floor here. I might need to tilt this down a little bit. Bear with me a second. Okay, so this one I'm going to be on the ground. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a rolled up towel. I'm going to firmly put it all the way up against the top of the knee. And then I'm going to grab my hands around my shin, my lower towards my ankle, let's say. And then from here, I'm going to kind of kick outward against my hands. Not too intense, just very gently kicking my leg out that direction. And this is going to help stretch the muscles around here. So we did an activating exercise first. The first one was a warm-up mobility. Second one was an activation of the quad. And now we're doing a little bit of a PNF stretching, which is proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, PNF. So we're pushing the hand against it and then relaxing, and then we can pull it in a little bit further and then push out against it gently, not too intense, and then repeat. So you want to hold the stretch. You want to push the knee out, or the foot out, for about 10 seconds against your hands. So let's do the other side real quick. And it's about 9:15 where I am, and I'm sweating profusely because it was about 90 degrees, 95 degrees of humidity. All right, so we're pulling in, making sure this is all the way up against the knee, squeezing, and then I'm going to push my foot out in this direction against my hands, not too hard, just enough, and then I'm going to hold it 10 seconds, and then I'm going to pull it back a little bit further, and then again I'm going to push out again in that direction. So I'm pushing my shin against my hands, and then relax, and then we can do that one more time, and then you just push out and relax. All right, so you should now feel your knees. Now, part of getting rid of pain is just moving correctly, so doing the things that are moving correctly. So now I want you to think about your knees, how they feel now as they did before, right? You should have some blood flow. It should feel a little bit looser. There should be less tension there. It should be more mobile. Kind of shake it out a little bit. So, as you know, I'm the creator of Back Pain Relief for Life, and I'm a back pain specialist. Today we did something about the knees. Everything is connected all across the body. You know, a toe issue can cause jaw pain, right? So we know that your toe is connected to certain parts of the body. Your teeth are connected to organs. So everything's connected. So learning about your body, learning about every joint, doing the things to maximize and optimize them, which is what I do, is I teach optimal health and fitness in the safest, fastest, most effective way. And one of the ways we start people out is first getting rid of their back pain. So here's a tip that you can use to get rid of their knee pain. If you haven't done our Back Pain Relief for Life program, I highly suggest that. It's one of the best investments you can do to yourself, is doing that 3 days a week for about 6-week period, whether you have back pain or not. We use it for people that just don't like exercising, or they come in really overweight and they have a bad connection with exercise. This gets them feeling good, it gets them mobilized, it gets them flexible, it gets them taller, it gets them stronger, it gets their core activated. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and check out our program, get started on that, and I hope this helped. Have a great day.